Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Divas That Care Network. My name is Candace Gish. I am the founder of the program and a host on the network, so I'm just so excited that each and every one of you has tuned in today's program. If this is your very first time, a huge welcome. We have 11 different hosts from all over, and you know what? They interview other individuals that are trying to make the world a better place. And our hashtag out there is Divas That Care. So make sure that you check us out. Okay, well, I'm excited. I am actually going to be interviewing a brand new lady on our program today. We're going to be welcoming her to our Diva family. Her name is Chastity Parrish, and I am excited to be talking with her today. I had the opportunity to go through her website today, and I'm like, this is beautiful. It is absolutely an amazing website. I had the opportunity to kind of go through it, and I was reading some of her blogs, and you know what, guys, you're going to love her. She's exactly what a diva is all about. So welcome to the show, Chastity.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Yes, I'm so excited.
Well, I'm so excited to chat with you also. I can't wait to get to know you. So would you mind, Chastity, before we kind of dive into your blog and the things you're doing, could you share a little bit about yourself with us?
Yes. Okay. So, like as you've mentioned, my name is Chastity Parrish, and I'm the CEO of the Roadmap to Balance for Moms. I'm a full-time mother, and I maintain a full-time career. I have a master's degree in science of human behavior. I've mentored several moms over the past 7 years. And that has encouraged me to use my voice, to encourage, support, and to help moms to redefine and elevate themselves in finding resilience and self-care and balance throughout their lives. Also, I just want to say that I'm just an average, modern, everyday woman, who multitasks a career, spouse, children, appointments, friends, social life, ministry work, and trying to maintain self-care. And so, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
I think you're absolutely extraordinary, and it is. You are a mom, and I love that, because the definition of a mom is that you are the chauffeur. You wear so many hats. And what you've done now is that you have this amazing blog. And Chastity, tell us about your blog, because I've been reading it, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yes, I have a blog, and I call it, it's Roadmap to Balance for Moms. And so my blog, I designed it because, I felt like at one point in my life, like I was losing myself, because before I got married, which was 12 years ago, and I said, okay, I'm not going to be that mom that loses herself, that loses her individuality. And I'm just going to be that mom that maintains her individuality, and I'm going to keep myself up. I'm not going to lose myself. And so I fell right into it. And I totally lost myself. I lost my self-confidence. Everything was just about my family, about my kids, about my husband. And I totally just let myself go. And I didn't mean to do it, but it kind of, life just happens. And I just was like, okay, I got to get myself together. And so, over time, I just started, I was saying, okay, I'm going through these things. I'm trying to figure out balance, trying to figure out how to balance my relationship with my spouse, trying to figure out how to balance work, trying to figure out how to balance my kids, trying to figure out how to balance my social life, trying to figure out how to balance everything while trying to maintain some self-care for myself and trying to be a resilient mom throughout this entire, just throughout everything. And so, one night, I was reading this book that's called The Purpose-Driven Life. And, after I got done, like maybe the last few chapters of reading the book, it just came to me like, you need to do something for moms. And so I was like, okay, so I need to do something for moms. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should do a blog, or maybe I should do da-da-da-da. So I couldn't pinpoint what I wanted to do. And so I just kept saying, okay, well, maybe I'll write a book, or I'll do this. And so I continue to pray about it, because I am a spiritual person and I have a relationship with God. But over time, I decided to create this blog, and this was about a year and a half ago. So I created this blog, and I started to write and started to, just started to make posts and started to, and during this time I was still mentoring moms on the side now. And I've always had a passion for moms anyway because of my own struggle. And so the struggles that I went through, I always, was helping other moms that was kind of going through those same struggles. And so through my blog, people would be like, well, you should start providing this. You should start doing that, start doing this. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I should because it's a need for it. So I saw the need and I was like, okay, so there's a need. Why not feel that need? Because I feel like, there is a lot of things out there for celebrity moms because they have the tools, they have the resources, they have the means to get what they need in order to get self-care, in order to be resilient, in order to, just be able to reach those necessary tools. It's tangible for them. They can get to them because they have the resources to do that. And so the average everyday mom, we may not have those resources right at our fingertips. We may not have those tools. And so we have to be really creative. We got to use what we have in our home. We got to use what we have in our community. We got to use what we have. We got to create those things. We got to create a circle. Like, it's a lot of things we got to be creative about trying to create a roadmap to balance. And don't get me wrong, I was going to say, I wished that there was somebody like you when I first had my children, to be able to, because it took me years. My oldest is just graduating high school this year, and it's taken me years to realize what you're talking about today. I lost myself and I didn't know who I was, and it's taken many years to be able to get to that point. It's like, no, I have to look after myself. But you're right. We lose ourselves. Yep. And what you're doing and what you're helping people is beautiful, because this is what we need. This is what the young women need out there. They need somebody like yourself to help them navigate, because unfortunately that's what happens, is that you don't realize it. And that's what I said. Looked at my husband one day and I said, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm like, I've been all these hats in my life, but who am I? Like, what happened to me? And so I just absolutely love what you're putting together here. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. And, and it's been a passion. And so I have really, I've just been so thankful and so blessed to be able to do this and to just be a person that is being used to service other moms, because I get to see them come to me and say, you know what, I have totally lost myself. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get myself back on track. Can you help me? And, and I have to take on and say, okay, let's look at your situation, because, don't get me wrong, each mom is going to have their own different roadmap, because every situation is different for each family. Everybody has a whole different situation, and so you have to take that mom and that family and look at them and, and help them create a roadmap, because they got to play a part in it too. It's their life. They have to be willing to play a role in participating in creating their roadmap. And that's the only way it's going to be successful. They gotta play a role in it.
That is brilliant, and it's so true, because we're all different. There's no two people are the same. We have different experiences, we have different journeys, and I love how you're saying it. It is a roadmap, and our roadmaps are all different.
Yes. Everybody's roadmap is different. It may be a military mom. It may be a single parent mom. It may be a 2-parent household where the mom is like, although my husband is there, he's really not there, so I still feel like a single parent. It just, each situation is so different, so you just never know what you're getting, and so you just have to take that situation for what it is and assess that situation and help that mom play a role in her creating her roadmap.
Ooh, yes. And you offer services so that you can work one-on-one with these amazing women, these amazing moms out there. So are you able to work globally with people then?
Yes, I do. It's virtual, so I can do it through Zoom. I can do it through Skype. I can do it through, if they want to do it through FaceTime, I'm open to that too. So whatever means, I'm flexible with that, just because I know what's going. We're in quarantine now, so everything's pretty much virtual. So whatever means that whatever they need, I'm willing to work with that mom.
Oh, I think that's beautiful. And I think a lot of people would probably really appreciate that because, yes, we are under quarantine and, there's a lot of stresses. There was a lot of stresses before, but I think I want to ask you, are you seeing that even more so now with people that are forced to be, in different situations?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing it more because we're forced into being home 24/7. We're with our kids 24/7. They're not going to school, so they're not getting a chance to get a break. And so the moms are working from home, and then they're also trying to be a teacher, so they're doing dual jobs at the same time. And so they're struggling with trying to figure out how to balance that part. And so some of the tools that I've helped, I know one mom that I work with. Some of the tools that I helped her with is that she had to change up her schedule. She may have to get up a little earlier and log on her computer to work, a little bit earlier, so that when it's time to wake up her kids, she's already completed half of her day, so that they can work on their school stuff, because their school stuff is online too. Yeah,
it's
and I know, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, but we have to be flexible, and we have to be willing to accommodate and make changes in order to make it work. I mean, we have to do it. If we want to be successful in this, I mean, we got to be flexible. We have to be flexible, and you have to also think about just think about it like if you're a mom and you have your circle, like let's say you have a circle of support system that you've created that normally would support you in a physical capacity. Now you don't have that circle because they can't come around because they're quarantined. They can't help with coming to get your son to talk to him for a few minutes because he's struggling or having a hard time, or coming to pick up the kids for a few hours while you get some time to yourself so you can go run to Walmart and get groceries or whatever the case may be. You don't have that circle right now. But there's different ways that circle can assist. They can maybe call, do a FaceTime chat, and sit down and talk to the kids for a little bit, even for 30 minutes, to give you 30 minutes to take a deep breath, to get some time alone for 30 minutes. In 30 minutes you can get you a little bubble bath really quick. So it's just little small things like that. Yeah, even though it's small.
Yep. Just
the
little things.
Even though it's
all
small,
that matters.
Those small things help. It may not be a lot, but when you add them all up together, I mean, it helps.
Oh, I like that. And you have a mom's virtual meetup group that is going to be starting here on May 16th. Can you share a little bit about that, and can our listeners get involved with that?
Yes, they can. Yes, I have a mom's virtual meetup group that's going to be starting May 16th, and it's free. So the first one is going to be free. I'm offering that free, and you can log on to Eventbrite to actually sign up for that. And I can also send you the link if someone is wanting the link. But however, if someone would like the link, they can email me for the link, or they can go onto my Instagram page to see the link in my bio. So, all the information is available, whichever way they want to get the information. So yes, that is definitely starting May 16th. Yeah.
And what we can do,
So,
Chastity, is we can post it also on the Changemakers Cafe. I'll have you post it in there to share with all of our amazing tribe that's in that group. But we will definitely be posting that on all of our social media after this show.
okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
I love that. And you also are going to be writing, you're also writing a book right now. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Yes, so I am actually going to be writing a book, and the book that I'm going to be writing is basically going to be about how to be resilient. And so here's the thing, because I don't want to share too much of it, but it's going to be kind of giving you different like scenarios and different situations for the everyday parent of how you can be resilient. And the main thing is it kind of talks about like how we get caught up, like, you know, through television, social media, internet, and about how parenting and motherhood should look like, or what the images of it really is, but it's really not that, because that's really not the reality of the everyday parent or the everyday mom. And so my book is going to talk about some of the real resiliency tools and some of the real parenting things that we go through, and it's tools on how to be resilient. And being resilient to me is being able to adjust and to, although you may have some struggles, you know, throughout your life, because, you know, nobody's going to have the perfect life. You're going to have struggles. You're going to fall down. You're going to, you know, you may get depressed. You may get sad. You may feel like, oh, my God, this is not going to work. But you don't want to stay there. You want to go through it, but you don't want to stay there. You don't want to live there. You want to come out of it. So I'm going to, you know, my book is going to be able to help you help you with tools to come out of those dark times. Because you're gonna have those times.
Oh, Chastity, I love that idea. You know what? When you're done that book, I want you to come back on the program so we can chat more about that.
Okay, I would love to come back.
We'll definitely have you back.
I would love to come back.
I love this. And this is the type of topics that I think our listeners are really appreciative. You know what? That's what they're looking for. And I think there's a big need for that right now.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And then especially during these times when things are getting, you know, a little tougher, this, you know, is definitely needed.
Well, is there anything else that you would love to share with our listeners today? One of the things that I always ask our amazing guests is if they have any tips or tools, but is there anything else happening in your life that you'd love to share with us also today?
Let's see. I think I shared everything because I have the mom's virtual meetup that's coming up. I have my book that I'm working on, and then I have the services that I'm offering. And I think that's pretty much it that I'm working on right now. And of course, I'm going to have more things that I'm going to be working on in the future. And this is another thing. I don't want to overload myself, and so that's another tip as a mom, because, you know, being an entrepreneur and also being a working full-time mom, you know, you don't want to overload yourself. You don't want to overtask yourself, because you can like really just like burn out. So I'm not going to, and I'm taking control of my life, and I'm not going to overload myself. So I have these 3 things that I'm working on, and that's it. And when I get done with those 3 things, I may add another task. But right now, I'm sticking to those. And that's that.
That's awesome. And I think that's a really good tip to leave our program too, because, you know, don't overwhelm yourself. One of the things that I found during this time is that I've had to be forcibly put into a break. You know, I'm not driving my children to a million different places every evening, and spending more quality time, you know, just at home and learning to be with myself again. And I think that's probably a great tip too, is like, you know what? Yes, we're overwhelmed with everything that's going around with us, but now we're being forced to take that breather that, you know, we never had before.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree more.
Chastity, I've had such a great time. Would you leave our listeners today with your social media links so they can go and check you out?
Yes, I will. My my Instagram, my Facebook, I also have a YouTube page. Everything is under Roadmap to Balance for Moms. The 2 and the 4 is the number, and then the moms is a Z on the end. So everything is Roadmap to Balance for Moms. And then also, if you want to reach me by email, you can. It's roadmaptobalanceformoms@gmail.com.
That is perfect. Thank you so much, Chastity. That was fantastic.
Yes.
And as I said to our listeners, I will be posting Chastity's social media links with her recorded program here today because I think it's really important for you guys to check her out.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate this opportunity. It means so much, so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And as I said, I can't wait to hear more about your book in the future, have you back on our program, and perhaps you'd be interested in coming into our virtual summits. We just currently had a virtual summit, so I hope that for our listeners that you go and check out all those amazing women that were a part of that program also.
Yes, I would love the opportunity to come into your virtual summit. I actually I had a good friend that showed me some of your virtual summit information. I thought it was awesome. So you don't even have to ask me again. So yep, I would love.
That is fantastic. Well, you know what? It's all about providing a platform, and we love it because for myself, I learn so much every time I have the opportunity to have a guest like yourself on our program and to listen to them on these virtual summits. You know, I just absolutely love hearing women's stories and what they're doing with their lives.
Yes, thank you, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. This was so awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Chastity. Well, as I said, we'll definitely have to have you back on our program again. And I want to do a big shout out to all of our amazing listeners. You know, it's because of all of you that we've continued to do our program now for 10 years. You know, thank you so much to each and every one of you. I'm so grateful to you. You've been a very big supportive of myself and to our other hosts. And for, you know, everybody else that has just tuned in for today's program, you know, thank you. You can listen to all of our programs on Spotify, iTunes, Skechers, like really anywhere, or Stitchers, anywhere that you can listen to a podcasting program. And you can also check us out on our website at divasthatcare.com. So, you know what? Thank you so much to my amazing guest, Chastity, and to all of our guests that have been on our program for the last 10 years, and to all of our listeners. You know, thank you so much, and make sure that you do something kind for somebody out there. Until next time, everybody, bye-bye for now.